Welcome to the coolest stuff on the planet.
Hi everybody. We're going to skip all the introductions today because I think you know who we are and you know what this is because you clicked on it, you downloaded it, and now you're listening to it.
And you're stuck.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
So sit back and enjoy.
Today we're heading to the city of Granada, which is the capital city in the Granada province in Spain, which is located along the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains.
Ooh,
Doesn't that sound nice?
It does sound nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've been, so you can tell me if it's nice.
Oh, it is.
Just for a little background, here's what was going on in Granada and Spain in the Middle Ages and thereabouts. So in 711 AD, the Moors, who we'd mentioned a little bit in the Sevilla episode, but they were basically a Muslim people from Morocco. Mm-hmm. So they headed up to Spain, they swooped in, and they conquered Spain from the Visigoths.
Oh, yes, they did.
I always like that word, Visigoths.
Oh, it's an awesome
Sounds like a metal band.
It probably is. But for the next almost 8 centuries, the Christian states then reconquered a lot of that territory that was gained by the Moors. Then they pushed the Moors basically, I guess it's south and slightly east down towards the Mediterranean Sea.
Mm-hmm. And so by the 13th century, all you have left really is the Kingdom of Granada, which is kind of the last stronghold of Moorish, not even really rule, but Moorish presence in Spain. And there was a last kind of flowering of Moorish culture in Spain before they were eventually kicked out.
And one of the best examples of this flourishing is this massive complex of towers and gardens and gilded carvings called the Alhambra. And just look at this place. Wait a second. Casey, can you suspend the podcast for a second? Okay, look, Rachel, I think we're jumping the gun here.
I think you're right, Matt.
I don't know. I feel like we should maybe save this Alhambra business for another podcast because I think we can delve into it pretty deeply.
It is full of detail.
I think so. Yeah, all right.
Okay, I concur. Casey, resume the podcast. So the word Granada, that's so silly, means pomegranate in Spanish, which I was delighted to discover. I remember when I first was learning Spanish, and then I learned about, I saw the name of that city, and I was like, wait a minute, that means pomegranate. So a city named Pomegranate.
I know my fruit vocabulary.
Yes.
So apparently the Moors introduced the pomegranate to Spain from Morocco, and these juicy seed-filled spheres of tastiness, oh yeah, I wrote that, have flourished there ever since.
So one of my favorite Spanish poets, I learned about him in college in my Spanish class, Federico Garcia Lorca, called Granada home.
And one of the most reoccurring images in Lorca's work is the olive and the olive tree, or even sometimes orchards of olives, which is pretty cool. And it's most likely because where he grew up, right outside of Granada, there are extensive olive orchards surrounding his hometown. So you can basically walk out of the city and go, I'm not sure how many miles, but about 30 minutes, pretty much in any direction, and you're going to run into some olive orchards.
I wasn't aware of that.
But don't really have too much else here for the introduction.
Yeah, I mean, that's all we have on Granada, although we'd like to open it up to you guys. Please tell us if you've been to Granada.
Yes.
What you like about the city, if you're from Granada.
There's so many places and tourist attractions that we could talk about. There's a science museum, a science center that's really cool.
There's a Carthusian monastery, which sounds interesting.
Yeah.
But if there are interesting places, tell us what you think, or places that you'd like us to mention that we didn't mention.
Yeah. But for now, let's do a little electronic viewer mail that was allegedly sent by humans.
Allegedly.
Yes.
All right, Matt. Well, you take care of that alleged mail.
Look,
then.
all I know is that my computer, the robot, gave this to me. That's all I know.
Oh, well, that was nice of it.
So this is a little message from Albert, and he says, "Hello, Rachel and Matt. I really enjoyed that one, actually." Now, what is he referring to here?
He's talking about the Carlsbad Caverns episode.
Oh, okay. There we are. Why, thank you, Albert. I enjoy all of them. Thanks. But that one reminded me of a recent trip I took to Arizona in March this year for a bit of camping with my brother and his family. One of the stops we made and spent the night there was the Kartchner Caverns, and the next day we did a tour of one part of the cavern. And like Carlsbad, Kartchner is also a limestone cavern. I noticed in your podcast you didn't mention anything about soda straws, Does Carlsbad not have them? A soda straw is one of the most amazing things. It's basically a column, but it's extremely thin and more or less the diameter of a soda straw, which is pretty cool. There was one that I saw that was roughly 20 to 30 feet tall, and it was the most amazing thing to see. But Albert says, I just like to share, and have a nice day.
Nice. And I can answer your question, Albert. Carlsbad Caverns does have soda straws, along with lots of other cave formations or speleothems.
Yes.
As we learned in that episode, I think we mentioned the draperies, there's soda straws, all sorts of weird and interesting little formations in Carlsbad Caverns. So, yes.
Just lots of dripping, I guess, mineral
deposits
in water. Yeah.
Forming beautiful formations. So. Well, I think that's all I got, Matt. You?
Yeah, but we'll be back very soon for some Moorish palace action.
That's right. We'll see you next time for more adventures in Spain.
Yes. Goodbye.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com and let us know what you think. Email travelpodcast@howstuffworks.com. Don't forget to check out our other podcasts, free on iTunes.